and you get to tell the whole world, what has this check been written for? And if you're not writing the word sexual favors on that line, get out. Get out. Get out.
I feel
Thank
like
you.
I have that in one of my notebooks. It's such like I've always said that, just for sexual favors memo line. Like that has to be a thing.
Yeah, I was going to call that out as a trope, but I think that is just something I've heard you say a million times.
A million.
It's the stand-up, teardown, conducting comedy autopsies. The stand-up, teardown now.
Hello, all you crazy cats and kittens out there in pod person land. Welcome back to another episode of Stand-Up Teardown. I'm your host, Sean Fawn. Joining me, as always, is my lovely co-host, Mr. Matthew Ballek.
Please clap.
Yes. Please clap indeed. New mic, who this? Got a new mic courtesy of Mr. Sean Faw. Look at this. We have matching mics, hopefully matching dulcet tones. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Sure. I mean, it's really just to make my job less annoying in the edit. I don't know that the audience is going to notice anything. But
Well, it still touched me deeply, and I will think about it for the rest of my life. Thank you. And it should hopefully really come through on this next episode, because guess what, Sean?
what?
I have 3 new comics and specials.
Wow,
that we're
I never would have
watching.
guessed.
Format, baby.
Yeah.
So
What do we got up
3
first?
specials. Up first is a comedian I've never heard of, but he is a road dog, a nationally touring comedian. So this is a ringer. This is Nick Hoff. According to his profile, he's been on MTV. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
And other things, but I don't know. The special name is, let me know if you remember it.
It's somewhere in America. It's on the screen.
No, it's America, the final season.
Oh, well, that's on the screen too. Fuck you. Yeah. All right. Well,
Well, I think you'll enjoy this one just because of the title.
all right.
3 kids is plenty. And my wife and I, we do not want to
take
have a
that
fourth.
back.
We don't want to have a fourth, but I have not had the vasectomy.
I do hate children.
Exactly. He's going right to the kid bit. So it's like, nope. I think you're already going to be checked out on this one.
Because second wife might want kids. No, I'm a feminist. I believe in a woman's right to choose. That's my second wife's choice.
Yeah, I think we stepped on him saying he was getting a vasectomy, and then someone in the audience said, "Don't do it."
Don't do it. Yeah. So this is a little crowd work opener.
I don't think that was crowd work. I think that was just a drunk bitch. But that,
It's not how most crowd work starts.
usually crowd work starts from the comedian, or it's just a heckler. That's the difference between crowd work and a heckler, I would think. Where it initiates essentially.
It's a condiment comment.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Is our existing bit.
I think crowd work implies that the comedian is
ripping
initiating an
off
engagement. Yeah, it's a part of their act and a bit. Whereas like dealing with a heckler is something that naturally happens. It is dealing with the crowd, but it is not their initiation. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, just
One's annoying and
white
one's yeah.
Gonna make that decision for
before we jump back in. And also, I think like a bold move to go with a hoodie for a stand-up special.
That is.
Unless that says, I was gonna say that is got to be a hood, right?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a hoodie. I was trying to read what it said on his hoodie, if that was something like, maybe like his podcast or something, but it doesn't seem like it. Just seems like a very casual stand-up set for a special.
And a brick wall. I mean, so you got to give him credit for that.
Really?
Yes. I don't know. It's a classic stand-up background.
Yeah, but not a special background. That brick wall is a half-hour comedy. Yeah, exactly. You get 15 minutes on a half-hour show in a brick wall. That's not. There's nothing special about a brick wall. God.
So I'm making mental
She
notes.
doesn't know what
brick wall patterns.
she's in junior high right now. She has no clue what. A couple weeks ago,
That was just the tease. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got my jury summons in the mail. Oh, have you had to serve before? Yeah, no? Yes? Nobody breaks the law here? I had to serve back in 2019. I didn't want to do it. Nobody in that room wanted to serve on that jury. Everybody was trying to get out of it. Guy right in front of me goes, hey, I can't serve on this jury because I've committed a felony. The judge goes, were you convicted? And he goes, no, but I did it. I was tapping him on the shoulder. I was like, are you sure, dude? I know jury duty sucks, but you're admitting to felonies. You would rather serve hard time than 6 days on a civil suit? And
Dude's got a point, man. I've been on jury duty. I might rather be in jail. That's fucking bullshit. $15 a day. Go fuck yourself.
I was gonna say, like, at least you get paid, but then $15 a day. It's like, do you really? Like, the $5 foot long is like 20 years ago.
Oh, dude, it's $15 for a foot long now. So that, doesn't even cover lunch. In some places, $15 doesn't even cover parking for the day. Yeah, fucking government.
served, I get it. Jail's better. Jail's gotta be better. You go to jail, you get 3 square meals, recess, a boyfriend? Come on.
Well, Jim Carrey
That lady
action
couldn't take it.
with the come on.
Yeah, the little bit of face acting there.
Boyfriend. She's like, no way, I'm out of here. That guy probably drinks Bud Light. Anybody in here drinking Bud Light right now? No. Just 2 people, the rest of you hating them right now. You should have seen the looks of the... Who?
Is this around the
sweetest 2 people?
Yeah, I assume so. That's
the Trandle? Yeah. Is that a portmanteau I can use?
Transdle. It's been, what was that, like 6 months ago or so, maybe? Beginning of 2024.
This is a pretty recent special, so, workshop the bit a little bit. It checks out timeline-wise.
I suppose it's still, like, there's a weird, like, timelessness thing that you kind of want to touch on in, like, an hour special. If you're doing, like, topical news bits, it's a little hard for it to have, the evergreenness of a really classic comedy special. A year or 2 from now, no one's going to even remember why people weren't drinking Bud Light.
Yeah, that's a good point. So the fact that he brought up Bud Light and is calling it out, I'm like trying to like timestamp when this was.
Oh, absolutely. But like he didn't explain it at all. So like we have enough of the information now to parse his funny here, but I really don't know if I would remember that in a couple of years if we were looking back at this.
Yeah, and I also don't want to knock his hoodie choice now because I feel like it goes with his...
The whole ensemble brings it together.
His persona, yeah.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a... soccer dad? Is that a thing?
Yeah. He's got the vibe, like, because he's goofied up, where it's more like the dad that, like, I don't know, like maybe just bummed a cigarette or you bummed a cigarette from them at a bar because he's just with the hoodie and stuff and be like someone that you're kind of stuck talking to, but you're like, okay, this guy's going.
Yeah. Your kids like rode the bus that rode the same bus or something, and so now you're stuck talking to them all night.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, this guy's fun. I like him.
In here, that's who. I love that people drew that line in the sand, right? When they came out with that marketing campaign, and everybody's like, that's it, we're not drinking Bud Light. Better not be drinking. And now what's the #1 beer in America? Modelo, a Mexican beer. 4 years ago, people were so against Mexico that they built a wall. Now this happened, we drew a new line in the sand, we're up against the wall like, well, throw the beer over, though.
Again, with the timeliness, because we're now back to building a wall. So,
oh, man, we got to check on that Modelo stock, yeah.
Yeah, this guy, he just way too, like, planted in his Dayton time. Like,
I know.
It's, it's decent, but it's, again, the the lack of timelessness, I think, is the major downfall so far. Like, he's got a decent energy, and like the stage presence is polished and pretty professional. Well, professional is a weird word. Experienced, we'll say.
Yeah, because he's definitely an experienced comic, and that like definitely comes through. And to use some parlance that I absolutely hate, I would say, let him cook.
Oh God.
Oh, man. And I had to serve on that jury back in 2019. For those of you who never served on a jury before, what they do is they put a bunch of people in a room, ask you a couple questions, and if you get chosen, they put you up in the jury box. And once that's full, they send everybody else home. And then they brought in the people that the case was about. I got to see, like, oh, this guy is suing that girl for a car accident. And then they sent us to lunch. They go, okay, you guys can go to lunch. Whatever you do not discuss the case. So we went to lunch, and we decided the case without hearing any of the facts. We decided, guess what? We don't like his face. He gets nothing. How about that? Yeah, that's how that works. That's a jury of your peers. Look around. These are your peers. Do you trust any of these people? Yeah, what? You think because you paid me $15 a day to drive to downtown in rush hour traffic that all of a sudden I'm going to be fair and impartial? No, you got a bad face. You're getting nothing, Tonto.
Got a bad face. It's funny.
He did, too. He just had a face you want to punch. You ever seen something like just a punchable snout? You ever seen something like that?
Oh man, like he's absolutely right about all of it. On the few juries I've served on, like, I just absolutely hated the face of the prosecutor, so I just fucking went with the defendant.
He's definitely nailing like the truth and comedy angle with his premises and stuff.
Absolutely.
So it's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, burn it all down. This is stupid.
Right?
Why she hit him with her car. She's probably just driving along like, oh, his face. Oh, the dude had it coming too. He was a sniveler. He's a sniveler. He was crying in the courtroom. He was just holding it. He's like, oh, my neck hurts. We're like, yeah, it's probably trying to get away from your face. It sucks. I found out that I had to serve on that jury because a few years earlier, I had taken the opportunity to vote. And apparently that's how they get you in the jury pool. Did you guys know that?
So that shot is really bugging me, just because they're cutting off the top of his head and the framing is weird constantly. I keep thinking it's like something I'm doing on my side, but I've double checked like 8 times and it's not. So they're just literally cutting off his head and just fucking annoy me.
I had no idea that.
We really need like a Sean's Director's Corner jingle of some sort. Because, yeah, it's noticeable. Like, whenever there's that kind of bad framing, it's like, yeah, why are you topping off the top of his head?
Yeah, Sean Cine complaints.
Pumped to vote in 2024? Dude, I think we gotta cap the presidency at an age. Like, we've right? We've got, listen. 80-year-olds, they're nice. That's just too old. Like, we cap it at the bottom. You gotta be older than 35. I think you double it. You can't be over 70. Okay? I think that's sensible. Yeah, I think, listen, if you can't set up your home Wi-Fi, you can't run the free world. Okay?
Interesting premise, but that probably eliminates like 90% of fucking adults.
Right.
People are generally stupid.
I'm sorry. I know a few of you are close. I'm sorry. Some of you are like, hey. I'm still a valued member of a society. I don't want to be president.
It was like a weird little accent. Yeah, it was like a weird little accent, though, he did there. I'm not, like, borderline racist, but I'll give it to him.
I do have some ideas. Of what I would change if I were the president. Here's something I would change.
Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, any ideas would be better than what we've heard in the current campaign, so he's already got my vote.
In the United States, I would change the speed limit on day one. Yeah, I would change it. I don't like the speed limit. Here's how it would work, okay? It's not just willy-nilly. We're not just raising it for everybody. Here's how the speed limit would work under my presidency. For every year you go without getting in a car accident, you get 1 extra mile per hour on all roads. Not bad, right? Not bad. And it stacks, too, so the better you are driving, you're just going faster and faster and fast. Like, you see a 100-year-old guy with a perfect record, he's just doing 154 down the interstate. That guy goes flying past you, it doesn't even make you nervous. You're like, that's a great driver right there.
To go faster with that, salute. Just
yeah, totally. Yeah, 150. That's a much of fucking. God, I can't even fucking do it.
Yeah, hit the shock mount.
Yeah, I was actually going to comment on his mic usage. It just notably, like, he brings the mic almost all the way down when he screams. Like, most comics will, like, move the mic back a little bit when they get loud or scream or something. He just, like, puts it all the way down and just screams at the audience, which is, I mean, it's effective. I don't know. It kind of works. Like, just an odd choice.
Yeah, it's a good, like, it gives you more of that Bill Burr sound.
Yeah.
You can just yell more freely.
Yeah, and I think for the at-home audience, it gives them a little bit more of an in-the-room feeling sort of thing, too, because you get that, that texture of, like, his voice filling up the room rather than directly into the mic. So, like, yeah, it's a little bit, bringing the audience into him.
Yeah. Also, but before we move on, like, we've been doing this show for a number of episodes, and I don't think once have we seen a comedian actually hump a stool. So I just want to say kudos to comedians today.
To the current class of comedians that are
not
exactly. Stool humping.
Mm-hmm. This guy's got a hoodie on, not even going close to that stool.
Was the stool humping a trope that you were fighting against, or?
It's a big trope, I feel like, or was. I feel like for male comics, there's always, like, that stool's getting humped at some point for a bit.
I think I know I've seen it once, but I can't, like.
I'm not making this stuff up.
I don't think you're wrong. I that's never really stood out as a trope to me. I've seen maybe 1 or 2 comedians do it, but maybe it happens a lot more than, or maybe I'm just, like, really into it and fucking it just goes past me.
But cut to a super cut.
Put it together, bitch.
Penalties on the other side, right? For the bad drivers, you get in a car accident, we slow you down 5 miles an hour under the speed limit. That's right, bad drivers, it's steep. Yeah, and the spoiler alert, that one stacks too. So you keep banging into crap, you're going slower and slower and slow. So if you're my wife, you're going nowhere. Now, people think that's a comment about women drivers. It's a comment about my wife as a driver. She's horrible. She's totaled 3 cars. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. No, she comes on tour with me every single summer. We have driven across this country and back together 7 times. And I have driven 100% of those miles myself. 100%. Even when we're in the middle of nowhere and it's late and I'm just kind of nodding off behind the wheel, I'll just kind of look over at her and I'll be like, this is still safer. She's looking over at me like, you want me to give you a break? I was like, that's not restful over there. That's what I would change if I were the president. And if I had enough time, I'd do this, because I was doing some shows in the South, and there was a gentleman who was sitting in the back who had a few cocktails, and he yelled this idea out, and I kind of liked it, so I would add it to my platform. He thought that we should have 1 hour in every single day where the roads are closed and only open for drunk drivers. I kind of liked it. Just 1 hour where we get all the sober people off the road, just raise the bumpers on each side. Just let them bang their way home, you know what I mean? That way they can only hurt each other, you know? And maybe a few of them will take each other out, but we'll make it a game. We'll call it the merge. It'll be fun.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty decent there. I'm down.
It's like the entertaining a ridiculous idea, like, and then trying to like validate it. Like, I think it's a good formula for a bit. So no, I'm liking him. Like, he certainly has like more of a not like a message, but he's more of like an idea based comic here.
Yeah. Yeah, concept comedy. Concept comedy. There we go. Jesus, fucking words are hard.
But yeah, no, I would say this is a solid special. Like, I would, I've not heard of this of Nick Hoff, but yeah, I would watch this up and keep an eye out for him on the road touring. Like, definitely solid.
Yeah, I think your description of Road Dogg was pretty apt. He's got that sort of that gritty feel of having done many small shows across the country. Like,
yeah, I think he could do well all across America, and he clearly has driven it, as he says, 7 times back and forth.
Yeah, and the material is all like very sort of general, like mass appeal sort of shit. It's not like niche things, just talking about shit like only 3 people have heard of. But it's also not airplane humor. So
yeah, it's not airplane humor. It's not overly raunchy, and you know what? It makes you think. So I was concerned with the title of like America, the final season. Like, it was just going to be like everything sucks. Everything was better back in my day, and
yeah,
about that.
That's true. And I don't think there was anything that would disqualify him from like a dry bar set. Like, everything was pretty clean here. I can't.
Yeah,
I'm not remembering anything that would be risque or. So a clean TV set is always a good thing to have too.
Completely unhumped stool.
Yeah, that stool remains dry. Well, with all those accolades, let's move on to next comedian. Who do we got up next?
Up next, we have Emily Catalano with the special Unspecial, which I believe was just released maybe within the past month or two.
Okay.
And I have no background on this comedian, so this was a poll maybe minutes before we started recording.
Right on. Well, let's see what she's got.
Cool. This is gonna be a weird show. I can already tell.
Already on board.
And I should warn you guys, I just took 2 gummies. So they might kick in during my set. They were women's multivitamin gummies. If you see my fingernails start to grow really fast. Don't freak out. It's just the gummies.
The fuck is this crap?
What?
Oh god. Oh, it wasn't as much as I thought.
Growing up, I played Little League baseball, and I was the only girl on my team for a long time. And it was cool. I think at that age, I think all sports should be co-ed, right? Like, I think it taught me a lot about equality. It taught me that boys are people too, and we should treat them as equals and let them play on our team. Even though they're not as good at baseball as us, it's okay, they can still play. When I started playing, I was just given all of my older brother's hand-me-down gear, so everything was just like super big on me, especially the jockstrap.
Yeah, she's got like a very like slow but methodical style. Like, it's not like she's struggling. It's not like she's reaching for things. It's not like, that's just, she's dictating the pace here, and she's not going to be flapped by the audience.
Yeah, no, she's bringing that Todd Barry swagger, as I want to call it. But no, she's got her persona, and she's a bit more dry and like deadpan, but she's clearly like also got some crafted bits and jokes. So yeah, I'm digging it. I'm digging the quirkiness of it, and just the craft.
Yeah. the writing is solid, and she's got some nice turns in there that, you know, misdirection, bringing you a different to a different landing than you expect. But
yeah, the gummy bit was nice, a nice like little turn with this, like the centrums, like so good.
Yeah, it's
multivitamin or whatever.
Nothing mind blowing, but it certainly works.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know I wasn't supposed to wear it. I just showed up first day of practice wearing a cup. Just no idea. I don't know if you know this, sir, but girls don't need to wear cups. We've got built-in cups. That's all a vagina is. It's just a built-in cup.
I did not know that.
So that we can be better.
For a while. Just pause on that for a good minute while you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a major camel toe. Yeah.
Baseball. And the boys. But yeah, first day of practice, showed up, double cuppage. 2 cups, 1 girl, that was me out there. One of the little boys was like, "Why are you wearing a cup? You don't have a wiener." But I was so competitive that I was like, "Yeah, huh? You've got a wiener? I've got a bunch of wieners." Just no idea what a wiener was. Finally, one of the adults was like, "Sweetie, you don't have a wiener." This was the 90s, so they were allowed to tell me that back then. If that happened today, I would have worn that cup all season long. Nobody would have said.
Wow, that's weird. That's like, it's like subversive, but without being like subversive. I don't know. It's like the softest subversion you can do.
Yeah, you found a cheat code.
Kind of, yeah. That's weird.
Wants to wear a cup? That's her choice. That's fine. I know what a wiener is now. Thank you.
Good transition.
But I grew up evangelical Christian, so we.
No, I think that was just the end of that joke, punctuating.
True.
You know, she's going to talk about Christian wieners.
What is with your lisp today? I love it.
Mine? Am I lisping?
Do you say Christianity?
Christianity. It's my Tyson has come through.
Really talk about stuff like that in the home or in the church. I was pretty like sexually naive. The only time we talked about sex was every time one of our pastors had an affair.
All right, so she is talking about Christian wieners.
It's only like 4 or 5 times, you know, not enough to learn anything. I taught myself a lot. I did a lot of self-teaching. The internet helped a lot when that came out. Shout out the internet. But I was like a very good Christian girl, so when I got access to the internet, I didn't look up porn. I just went to Wikipedia and typed in penis and just read about the penis. I thought God was going to be mad at me. I thought he was going to be mad that I was looking up a diagram of a flaccid penis. Before marriage. I don't know why that's a shameful thing in the church, like looking up naked pictures, right? Like if he created man, wouldn't he want us to check out his artwork? Unless he's ashamed of it too, you know? that happens. I don't know. As a fellow artist, I'm not proud of everything I do up here. I think every artist goes through a weird phase. I think that was God's weird phase.
Decent, but
I love it. Yeah, I like the premise.
Yeah, they just completely out of everything that's going on here. Like
Her head is in frame.
Yeah, that's true. That helps. No, the thing that's bugging me today, or with this one, is the mouth noises. Like, because she's so slow and methodical, like you hear like all of those like the mouth pops during the like the silences, or like when she's like waiting. So it's just a lot of.
Okay. Yeah, that's a deep cut. I call those Stephen Tobolowski's, but.
Oh yeah, he does do that a lot.
It's almost unlistenable because of it. If you have like misophonia or whatever.
Totally. Oh man. Well,
The penis. He's like, I made this thing. Never mind, don't look at that. It's weird. It's a sin if you look at that. Don't do it. He even tried to fix it. He was like, what if we cut a little bit off the top? No, never mind. It's weird looking. Never mind. I made it worse.
Yeah, that's.
Oh man, yeah, she's so good. Like that is such a funny like twist on things. Like yeah, with the premise of like God, like being a creator and creators being embarrassed of work, and yeah, oh, I love it.
No, yeah, it all works. Yeah, I don't. So far my only complaints are more technical than anything. Like there's she like again the pacing, the stage presence, it's kind of all there. Like she seems
the brick wall.
Fuck you and your brick walls. They're
comforting. Those
honestly, you're not wrong. Yeah, it's very late 80s, early 90s nostalgic. I feel like the brick wall went out of fashion for a long time, and it's kind of coming back as far as stand-up's concerned.
We'll see if we go triple brick on this one, but I'll have to add this as a category on our website, just like the sword specials by brick or no brick.
By types of brick patterns.
Ooh.
There you go.
Okay.
I think the bad thing about looking up penis on Wikipedia was that it just takes you to a general site about penises. So the only real photo of a penis was of an elephant's penis. Which gave me a very skewed idea of what a penis is. I was scared for a long time. In church, when they were like, you gotta save sex for marriage, I was like, I'm good for life, actually. Keep that thing away from me. That's like a few years ago when everybody was like, watch out for the vaccine. You gotta do your own research. Do your own research about the vaccine. I was like, I don't know. I did my own research about penises. It was wrong. So.
Such a good pause, too.
That smile kind of ruined it for me.
Throw it out.
Yeah. I mean, well, she's like a part of that pacing thing that she's got is that like, it's like,
you don't want to see her break character on it.
Kind of. Well, yeah, that's part of it, but it's like there's like a separation between her and the material, and like, yeah, that smile, like, she, it's like laughing at your own jokes. It's just kind of you know, some comedians can get away with it and it like becomes part of their act, but her whole sort of oeuvre here is not that type of comedian. So like when she breaks character, I guess that is definitely, I guess, distracting, derailing, dehumanizing.
Oh my!
Seen some penises in real life now.
I wonder if you need to if you just need to see a picture of an elephant's penis, like, because that might help
me,
like level set the bit for you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, she was smiling at the elephant penis. That actually kind of.
I don't know if I've ever seen one. So like maybe that image just you can't help but.
I feel like if I did see one, I'd smile. Right. So that maybe
put it on your to-do list.
Will do.
Pretty good stuff, guys. Sometimes they're not so good, though. Yeah. She knows. One time I hooked up with a guy, and he had a micro penis. And yeah, I say hooked up, but nothing was hooked.
Nice.
Like, we didn't even try. Like, it just would have been... It would have been like drinking a kombucha for the alcohol. Like, technically, it's in there, but you're not going to feel it. And it's just...
Oh, it's so good. She is a great joke writer. Like, yeah, her twists on premises and stuff. Like, it's very unique. And yeah, I've not heard like this kind of stuff before. It's not like old trope kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, and especially for a female comedian talking about sex stuff, it's not like the typical outslutting shit or my vagina stuff. It's like there's like nuance to everything that she's got here. There's a more to it than just the salaciousness. There's a little bit of thinking behind it that goes into it. That it's more than just running around naked. It's fucking twisting things to find the funny rather than just, isn't that funny?
The weird part was that he didn't warn me about it. Yeah. Like, I just had to discover it on my own. Yeah. I was like Christopher Columbus out there. Exploring. Was looking for one thing, found something completely different.
There you go.
Another good twist.
Yep, absolutely.
If you're not laughing at the joke.
It's not even like a twist. It's very straightforward, but it's for some reason it's not what you'd expect.
It's an A to C joke.
Yeah. I see that.
Like they leave the B like unspoken, so if you get it, it's like a little mental riddle where it's like
there's a little bit for the audience to fill in. I think that's like she's assuming she's talking to an at least conscious or partially educated audience. She's not like talking down to them or over explaining the jokes or like making things very obvious. There's some joke writing that's happening in your head as a viewer, but it's like completely intentional. It's not like one of those, sometimes you have comedians that like they just throw out a premise and like, you think of like 5 different punchlines for it and it's, kind of funny, but like it's almost like a magician forcing a card. Like there's really only one premise that can be in the middle there, one little joke that can be in the middle there, but she lets you find it, It's yeah.
Oh, I like that. I like that analogy of the card force, but yeah, totally. Like kind of blocks you into that same way of thinking and then knows that you're both going to get there to capitalize on it. So no, I think this is like a very well done special thus far.
Yeah.
I also want to spoil it for both copyright reasons and what have you, but I would say this is on the must finish list.
Oh, yeah, certainly. It is a little bit slower. Like normally I do like my comedians to have a little bit more energy, but she makes this work at this pace that she's going.
I dig it. It's good energy. It's good brick wall energy. It's got a calming vibe to it.
Yeah. Calming comedy. Yeah.
With interesting topic, or like premises, and just really good joke writing in general in this one, and a good persona and presence on stage. So like you could be like awkward to the point where it's like, okay, a little too much, or like it's like a fear based thing, but this is just like still solid performance across the board.
And I think we're pretty much all in agreement that it's worth finishing this. So let's move on to our last comedian. Who do we got up next?
This is one I've heard of, and we're back to another a joker, an impractical one at that. This is, I think, disgraced joker Joe Gatto. He's no longer on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he left. I think just to be with his family. So that means something's going on. I don't want to be too salacious.
Some sort of Me Too shit or something.
I don't know. Maybe just like the fame and whatnot, living that Joker lifestyle.
I was, the name sounded familiar to me, but I couldn't fucking place it. But yeah, Impractical Jokers makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know how my life would change if I had that True TV money,
Is it True TV? I never really watched Impractical Jokers. I happened to see the movie once and had like no context for anything that was going on. It was okay-ish, but like since I didn't know any of the guys, I didn't really give a shit. So it's like it was kind of weird. But
well, that should be a great setup for this stand-up special because you don't know this guy still.
Right on.
I only know him from doing impractical jokes, practical jokes as they're commonly referred to. But I don't know him as a stand-up. But I think most of these guys, like Sal, who we've seen in episode insert number here. He was solid, so let's see if he can keep pace.
Right on.
You have a micro penis.
Whoa.
No, he just insulted Joe's penis.
All right, let's get into it. What's up,
I meant to do that.
Long Island! Huh? I had to come home. Had to come home for the taping. Had to come to my hometown. Have some fun with my friends here because, guys, I've been around the country and there's a lot going on. Let me tell you, there's some towns made me miss Long Island. Appleton, Wisconsin, you been? Don't. Whitest place I've ever been. I don't think they ever got the diversity memo. It was like I jumped into a bowl of milk and I was talking to marshmallows. That's how white this town was. You ever get like a new coloring book and you open it? That's it. That's Appleton, Wisconsin. And I'm getting older, you notice more stuff annoys you when you get older,
Is he really this jumpy or is
I was gonna say, this is very edited. Like even like the initial applause, I felt like, did they just ramp that down fast? It was like,
yeah, it definitely feels like it's over edited, but he might just be a weirdly schizophrenic ADD pace. So it's kind of hard to tell at this point.
I think it might be a little bit of both.
Right on.
I'm 47 now. Yes, thank you. I made it. I know what you're thinking. That's it? Oh my God, you look terrible. I decided, even that like whistle was half baked. I appreciate it. Nice try. I know we get it. It's okay. I've seen myself in high definition. It's funny, like now that I'm older, I want to start taking care of myself, so I started going to the doctor. I wanted to check everything out, like a classic automobile, I took her into the shop. I started upstairs. I went to the dentist, okay? So they take an x-ray of my teeths. And, yeah, multiple teeth. That's how it works in English, ma'am. I'm sorry to offend you, Miss Grammarly. We put an S on it. My teethy teeth? Toothy tooths, whatever. So taking a look at the picky pick of my teethy tooths, okay?
Is that a planned bit or was that a fuck up and a riff?
I think that was a planned riff. Maybe because he knew he was going to get the laugh for saying teeths plural, and so he's just waiting for anyone to make some sort of.
Yeah, that part seems set up, but then it felt like he almost kind of was covering up for fucking up. But yeah, I'm going to go with planned.
And she says, everything's fine with the teeth, you know, but in the back here, we see a shadow. And I go, oh, what does that mean? Like 6 more weeks of winter? She goes, no, it's probably nothing. Or could be a blocked artery and you could die of a stroke at any moment. That's a big pendulum swing, friends. I go, oh my God, what do I do? She goes, don't worry, just go see your cardiologist. Look at me. Do I look like I take care of myself and have a cardiologist? So I go home and I Google search cardiologist near me, like I have some sort of weird sexual fetish. I find one, I call up, I said, hey, I had a scare at the dentist, I need to see a cardiologist ASAP. ASAP, I got no time. And she goes, oh, because of COVID and everything, it's gonna be like a 2-month wait. And I go, ooh, 2 months, that's a long time. I don't normally do this, but I'm Joe Gatto. You know. She goes, great, Joe Gatto, we'll see you in 2 months. So I go to the doctor, you know, I take all the tests, whatever, and he's looking at the results, which are good, and then he's looking at my body, which isn't. And I think he thinks he had the wrong, like, folder. He's like looking at me, I don't know what he was expecting to see, like in the x-ray. Was he expecting to see like a cannoli stuck in my aorta? The first case of kidney scones? I don't know. I thought he was messing with me, you know, because I've been messing with people a long time, 10 years on TV, but I've been making it awkward since 1976, okay? Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. It's the only way to live, okay? You never know when the lights are gonna get turned out on you, so you might as well have some fun, laugh, find some joy every day, and I wish that for each and every one of you in here. Yes, that's what I want. I want you to live a great, happy life. Yeah, of course. You know?
Yeah, and... yeah, he is very ADD and very sporadic and very all over the place as far as subject material is concerned.
But like really fast, like kind of throw away almost like dad jokes, even when telling stories, like with the kidney scones, like just like little like quick puns or things to just pepper the story, or almost like a bit much at times.
Exactly,
so fast, like rapid fire.
Those little additions, they definitely help. But I don't know. In the last comedian, I was saying I usually gravitate more towards the energetic comedians, but like his energy is that like New York energy that's somewhat off-putting. Like, you know, I don't necessarily dislike him, but I certainly wouldn't want to hang out with him.
Yeah, I'm coming in like liking him because I know him as like the character or who he portrays on the show of Impractical Joker. So like I like his attitude. He's a funny improviser and just generally funny person. But to see him with like prepared, like here are jokes I want to tell or like stories I want to tell. Like I don't know if it's as like his strong suit as much. Like I'm just not as like you know, I want to like it.
Yeah, it almost feels like he's trying too hard or something. Like if you know, this not being his like what he's known for or something, and he's, you know, giving it
out like, hey, actually I'm a stand-up comedian, and I mean he's good on stage, very comfortable, good presence and everything, but just like material wise it doesn't seem as crafted as previous comics.
Absolutely.
What are you thinking, Joe? How? That's why I'm here. This part of my show is like a TED Talk, okay? I'm gonna give you tips and tricks to live your most awkward, fun life, okay? Things anyone in this room could do that you should do, okay? We talked about the dentist. Next time you guys go to the dentist, do what I do. Keep your eyes open. There's no rule. There's not even a sign that says, please keep your eyes closed. Like, you could do what you want. When I go, I just sit there when they're about to get their work, I just go.
Is that a thing? Are you supposed to close your eyes during dentists? Like,
I think it's sort of just like, you know, like facing the door in the elevator. It's just sort of what you end up doing naturally.
I don't like, I feel like every dentist I've gone to has either had like a TV or like one of them cat hang in there posters on the ceiling, or like, you know, stuff to look at. Like, I don't know that I would close my eyes in general at a dentist office. Although I'm a very untrusting person, so I don't close my eyes around most people.
Yeah, I feel like when they're doing stuff when it's not like TV, or if they don't let you bring your own hang in their poster, you know, like then it's definitely eyes closed, like because they got hands, they got stuff going on, they got that hose.
Yeah, sometimes you get that splashback, so you kind of naturally close your eyes.
Yeah,
But
they're drilling, so you're just sort of like, trying to like disassociate. So like having your eyes open is like, this is happening, you know.
all right, I'm on board with the premise now. I get it.
That shit gets weird real quick.
Yeah, I could see that.
We're adults, right? We got to pay the bills. Unfortunately, we got to pay the bills every month. We write checks. And on the bottom left-hand corner of every check is what I like to call an opportunity.
And not
the
a brick
memo
wall in
line.
sight. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, that's right. The memo section, 4 with a blank line. And you get to tell the whole world, what has this check been written for? And if you're not writing the word sexual favors on that line, get out. Get out. Get out.
I feel
Thank
like
you.
I have that in one of my notebooks. It's such like I've always said that, just for sexual favors memo line, like that has to be a thing.
Yeah, I was going to call that out as a trope, but I think that is just something I've heard you say a million times.
A million times. You're probably right.
Yeah. It seems like a very tired joke, but like,
I know if
yeah.
I thought of it.
well, that's not what I'm saying. I just, you know, it's something I've heard a lot, but like I can't place having heard it from professional comedians. So
Yeah,
maybe,
no, I think I would say it just because I'd heard it from somewhere else too. It's just like a funny thing to do or an awkward thing. So yeah, I feel like it's one of those like it's approaching street joke
yeah, very
territory.
much.
Every check I've ever written my whole life, 4 sexual favors. I don't care what it's for. Gas bill, cable bill, water bill, grandma's birthday, charity, Girl Scout cookies. I don't care. That's their problem now. How bad you want that money? I had a roommate. He used to pay the landlord every month. I'd have to give him a check for my half of the rent due. $725 for sexual favors, okay? And he would have to go deposit it in the bank in person. It was before the apps. He'd have to wait online till they said next and be like,
I don't like the usage of online. That's just a personal thing. It's inline. It's inline. Online would be on a computer.
Online banking.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a very, but also online is like the British terminology rather than inline, which is the American way of saying it.
Say on queue or in queue.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I feel like either way, that online was the wrong usage there, especially after following an internet comment there.
And wait till you hear what the
comment.
British call cookies. Get out of town.
Oh Jesus Christ! Fuck the.
good afternoon. I'd like to deposit this check I received, $725 for sexual favors. He begged me to stop. He's like, Joe, stop. You got to stop, dude. You have to stop. My picture is up in every branch across Manhattan. Stop. I was like, fine. So one month I just wrote 4 butt stuff.
Genius.
The teller would be like, that's not a bad side hustle, pal. Good work. Keep it up.
I feel like you
Elevators,
just
right?
that one a bit too long.
It went too long and it didn't pay off well. Like
No.
I thought he was building to something. I thought there was going to be, yeah. Again, butt stuff is just kind of like the level of street joke. Like it's an amusing way to go, but it's not anything that's mind blowing at all, or
more like
masterfully comedic.
Yeah, more like a remix of an
Yeah.
old joke. If
Absolutely.
they even call it that, it's more like adding a sample to it.
Little boxes of awkwardness we travel up and down with strangers. Ah, my playground. If I'm on the inside, I stand right up against the closed doors. And when they open, I go, yay, you made it. We're going to be best friends. We're going to be best friends. We're going to, oh, where you going? They're taking the stairs. Flip it and reverse it, right? Missy Elliott, that shit. You're about to get on the elevator, be wrapping up a fake phone call, okay? You get on, you're like, hey, yeah, no, I'm getting on the elevator, so I might lose you, but don't worry. When I get home, it's freaky deaky time. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, okay. All right. Bye, Mom. 12th floor, please. 12. Thank you.
It's like setting up like practical jokers bits as stand-up bits. Like,
Yeah,
wouldn't
it's
it be
like
awkward if I put myself in this awkward position? It's like, oh, you're so carefree and crazy.
Yeah, it's like cutting room floor bits or something, like stuff that he pitched in for the show that didn't quite make it, so he turned it into a stand-up bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just like I do awkward things. Like, yeah, that's the angle, obviously, but it's just I don't know. It's just not connecting with me.
Yeah.
It's really like getting some reaction from the audience, but I think it's more of a you're the guy from the TV.
Maybe he needs a brick wall.
Collect other people's business cards and give them out as myself at a later date. I've been the CEO of some major corporations. Public restrooms are a good time. That's it. There's no joke. That's just an observation. If I'm in the stall, I like to leave the door unlocked. Not open. Unlocked. Just to invite a little bit of mystery and danger to the party. And I'll just sit there waiting. I've set my trap like I'm trying to catch a raccoon out by the barn.
So we could see it in the other shot, like the little like profile-ish 3/4 shot, but he's doing like a little squat thing here. It's like a half squat. He's just kind of like bending his knees, sort of like he's sitting on the toilet. It doesn't come through in this shot, which is the shot that it needs to come through on. So they either need to be wider on this, or they need to be on that other angle where he's fucking. You can actually see a little bit of his legs crouching there, but like the body posture really makes this work, and the director is fucked him. Like he's if you're in the room, if you're seeing this on stage, you get a more pronounced version of what's going on here, I guess.
That makes sense. I can see that.
Inevitably somebody will open the door and I'll go, oh, you made it. I could begin. But the urinals, fellas, we know.
And then they cut to the wide shot right as he stands up, and you don't even see that he's squatting. Fucking cunts.
Yeah, the wide shot with him like squatting and then saying that line, I think would hit harder because then you can just picture him like it's like you are the character in the story walking in on him, seeing him squatting there. So yeah, I can see that.
These kids today, they get a camera and they think they know how to direct. Tell you what,
we can make them weirder if we try. 3 levels of awkwardness, okay? Level 1, super easy, okay? Don't skip the empty urinal. Stand right next to the fella and just snuggle in while you're taking the peeps. Bonus points if you whisper the word impressive.
I was creeped out, but then I'd be proud.
Right? I was just like, this is like a I don't know what you call these jokes. It's like, wouldn't it be crazy if?
Yeah.
But then, like, the payoffs aren't that good where it's like, I don't know. I got, like, buddies that would come up with something funnier with that angle.
Absolutely.
Or something, like, more, like, bizarre. So it's like, even the shock value part of it's not, like, hitting for me, like, the impressive, like, because he's talking about his penis. You know, like, it doesn't, like, give me that knee-jerk laugh kind of thing.
Honestly, I think that's the problem I had with Impractical Jokers as a whole. It's very, like, it's like a... dad version of what's the Johnny Knoxville show? Fucking
Jackass.
Yeah, it's like a toned down, watered down Jackass essentially. Like it's, going for outrageous, but it's often just kind of, lame sort of payoffs or, not going as hard as it could or not going as interesting as it could. It just kind of like leaving it at lowest common denominator.
Yeah, and I don't hate the Impractical Jokers show, but yeah, it is a bit, I don't know, not as hardcore as like Jackass, but not as like milquetoast as a candid camera kind of thing. But I think they do better when they play off of like unsuspecting strangers.
Yeah, I feel like it's the type of thing that that sort of white noise that plays on like the television in Burger King or something. Like it's just a, interesting enough, but passive enough to not offend anyone.
Yeah. And I think he's definitely playing to that audience, like of fans of the show. So that's why I feel like it feels a bit more fan servicey, or it's just not as like cutting. It's more of like,
I wonder if it's
do it.
I wonder if it's like an all ages show too. Like if there's kids in the audience or something that he has to play to.
Yeah, no audience shots really, or at least not in this special.
Yeah, it's a very unlit audience, so it might just be hard to get shots.
2, step up to the plate, take out your wiener, scream, and start taking pictures of it. Level 3, the Joe Gatto level of awkwardness, the master class, if you will. You're gonna step up to that urinal, just go ahead and use that bad boy backwards. That was the shake at the end. The best part of that is when you're mounted up and using the urinal backwards, if somebody walks in, look them in the face like they're weird.
I think the thing that's ruining this bit for me is he's using like that level, sort of the level 1, 2, 3 thing, whatever, that feels very much like Larry Miller's old bit about, getting drunk and coming up and, seeing the sunlight and God's flashlight and shit. Like, it's a pretty classic bit, but like it's that structure is very honed, in the way that Larry Miller does that structure is, fantastic and fucking, well honed and well timed. And this feels like a poor facsimile of that.
That's what it comes down to. Yeah, the facsimile part hits with me because like there's no real stories to back up these ridiculous things. You're just saying like,
wouldn't it be funny if I did this thing?
Yeah, or like I go to the store and they say, "How's your date?" I just punch them in the face. That's totally me. It's like,
hey, well, I'm crazy.
I'll just say that. Like, like there's no like this one time then, and then like you give a
exactly. Yeah, there's no truth to it. It's all just pontificating, and that's like, even if none of this stuff happened, you can tell it in a way where the audience believes that it did happen. And to me, that's going to be a lot funnier than like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I did this thing?
Yeah, because there's the real story. I'm just thinking of like Bill Burr's has like a bit about punching cupcakes, and he doesn't actually do it, but he's just like in this scenario where he just sees this woman and has this thought of like, what if I just go up to that table and just start punching these cupcakes, and like, just because he just didn't like this woman so much, and just he didn't do this thing, but the fact that he was just talking about how he thought about it.
Yeah, but he's also very like animated and energetic and like going through it, and he sells it more than this guy does. I feel like this guy just kind of throws it out and moves on with the next bit.
Yeah, or he's just like banking on his persona or like his known entity on Impractical Jokers, like, because he has been in a lot of awkward scenarios. So like,
it's easy to picture him doing this. Yeah.
But I'm not buying it. I think he's pretty
Follow them.
He's pretty what?
Normal in real life.
Yeah. Just normal for New York.
Yes.
Walk across the bathroom and be like, that guy, right? Impressive.
You got the squat shot, though.
We did finally get the squat shot, so yeah, I can rest in peace now. But
rest easy.
Yeah, that's the term. Rest in peace. We're a whole fucking different thing. That's not what we want today. No. No. But I think that's enough of that guy. Yeah. What'd you think about our roster today?
I don't know. I was coming in blind for a lot of these comics, just unaware of their specials or their existence. But I was pleasantly surprised by today's lineup. Let me get it. Was it a Hoff? It was a Nick Hoff.
Nick Hoff, Emily Catalano,
and then Joe Gatto. Gatto?
No idea.
But either way, it was a really tough call, especially between the first two. I think was, I don't know. Emily Catalano was definitely my pick of the bunch today, pick of the litter. I don't know if that's good to say, but yeah, definitely my favorite in terms of joke writing and like premises and twists. Like it was like surprising. I like the pacing. It had a brick wall, and yeah, just funny stuff that like I didn't see coming in terms of the twists. I'm like, oh, that works so perfectly. And those like brain tingle moments when the jokes hit.
Yeah, those the last one, Joe Gatto, whatever. He's definitely at the bottom of the list. But for me, it's like it's almost a tie between the other two, between Nick Hoff and Emily Catalano.
Finish a bit.
I think it really just comes down to personal preference for me at this point. Like Emily's style is just a little bit too slow for me. I do like that little bit more energy that was coming from Nick. That'd be just a little bit more of a fun watch, I guess. Whereas like the Emily one is more of a thinky watch. Like it requires a little bit more of your own brain power to participate with that. Not that it's a bad thing. I think it's just.
I thought Nick was also like a little cerebral, maybe a little less so, but yeah, he was talking about like, political concepts or I don't know. It made you think more so than what I was expecting given the time.
Yeah. And they were both pretty similar in that. I think it was literally just an energy difference for me. I think Nick, just kind of hit the stage, hit the stage running a little bit more than Emily did, but she's not a runner. So that's, it's, comparing apples and baseball bats. Like it's two very different styles that are both good in their own right. Just, again, personal preference. I like the energy. Not that I'm giving you any energy right now, so go fuck yourself. But yeah,
and they're just giving me some static for no reason.
Yeah, I think I was directing that more at the audience than you personally, but you can have some of that too.
Well, I appreciate that apology.
No worries. That was by no means an apology. Please do not mistake my words.
Oh, I almost snuck it in.
Fuck you. Never say you're sorry.
Never surrender.
Indeed. Yeah. Yeah, but that's pretty much all we got for today.
One small surrender. If you could hit that subscribe button and like buttons, all the buttons that cost you no money, hit those, leave us a comment. Let us know comics or specials we should check out. And I don't know. Is that it?
I mean, there are some buttons that do cost money, and feel free to hit those too. But, the ones that, don't are appreciated as well. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, post it, whatever. Yeah. I don't know. Come back next time. See us again. Make some comments. Oh, and tell us who we should be watching. If you got any suggestions for future future
comedians?
Specials to watch. Yeah, whatever. Fucking
specials.
You've sat through an hour of this. You know what we fucking do. If you have more of it, tell us. We'll fucking do more of it. Jesus Christ. Figure it out. You're smart enough. Maybe. I don't know. If you're still here, maybe you're not. Anyways.
Oh, they're long gone.
Yeah. Fuck everything. Later.
Sit down, it's time to read between the punchlines. They set 'em up, we knock 'em down. Why heckle at the show when you can heckle from the comfort of your own home? It's the Stand-Up Teardown, conducting comedy autopsies. The Stand-Up Teardown now. Who won't be killed? Bit by bit, beat by beat, set a punch, repeat. They set 'em up, we knock 'em down. Conducting comedy autopsies. The Stand-Up Teardown. Yeah, it's the Stand-Up Teardown. Punching up, down, left, right, line by line. It's the Stand-Up Teardown.